boxer, how do you feel like you get out of that bubble to make somebody a real boxer?
I mean, what he's doing is, I mean, kind of cool. If he can continue to steal money and they match him the way they match him, I can't knock his hustle. So if they can match him the way how they've been matching him.
Haven't seen Gervonta Davis in another sexual assault allegation, lawsuits incoming, potentially criminal charges levied. We don't know yet, but we know that fight is up in the air, and I think that fight's not going to happen, and they're going to either have to move the fight back or they're going to have to look to a replacement or both. I don't know.
That is still technically scheduled for November 14th to air on Netflix, but it's basically hanging on by a thread. But the team, Jake Paul's team, have reportedly gone and contacted all the fighters, and the names that they're looking at contacting to fight as a late replacement.
Floyd Mayweather has once again shaken up the boxing world by calling out Jake Paul following the cancellation of Gervonta "Tank" Davis's fight due to Davis's ongoing legal trouble. Mayweather announced that he's ready to step in and face Jake, clarifying that this time it would be a real fight, not an exhibition. He also emphasized that he wouldn't move up in weight, making it clear that if the match happens, it would take place under true professional boxing rules. The unexpected challenge has created a major buzz among fans, many of whom are eager to see whether Mayweather is genuinely preparing for a legitimate return to the ring.
But at the time, people badly wanted you and Jake Paul to fight. Is he someone you're interested in, or no?
Well, you know, if you go back, you got to do your homework, look on the internet. I think he was doing a sit down on a podcast one time, and he talked about it. He said, I don't want to do an exhibition against Floyd Mayweather. Yeah. He said, I'm only doing real fights. And of course, I can't get up high in weight, but I'll fight him in a real fight at the weight that I'm at. But Jake Paul, I mean, as of right now, for what he's doing, it's good for what he's doing. But once he fights a real fighter, it's going to be bad.
Have you been impressed?
But one thing I like about him, one thing I do like about him, he's selling it. He's selling it, and he's making good money.
Due to the ongoing lawsuit and accompanying investigation, Gervonta Davis's highly anticipated exhibition match against Jake Paul has been officially canceled. His promoter, Most Valuable Promotions, released a statement confirming that they are looking into the situation and have decided not to move forward with the event under the current circumstances.
The situation, it was supposed to be boxing Gervonta "Tank" Davis, a man that weighs 133 pounds or 135. Regardless, it's a man that is way, way smaller than Jake Paul. So that is just ridiculous, and I've given my thoughts on that before anyway. But now it turns out that Gervonta Davis has some allegations about domestic abuse. I don't know too much about the situation, but apparently Netflix have pulled the plug on that fight. It says, here's a tweet I'm reading from Mike Coppinger. As reported, Jake Paul's return could shift to December, with the November 14th Netflix exhibition in jeopardy due to the latest allegations against Gervonta Davis. Sources tell Ring Magazine that December 12th and the 19th.
Davis is currently facing a civil lawsuit filed by his former girlfriend, Courtney Roselle, over an alleged incident that took place on October 27th at a Miami nightclub where she is employed. In her filing, Roselle accuses Davis of battery, aggravated battery, false imprisonment, kidnapping, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. The lawsuit claims that Davis dragged and assaulted her across several areas of the club, including the stairwell, kitchen, and parking garage. Authorities in Miami Gardens have confirmed that an active criminal investigation is underway alongside the civil case.
Boxing champion Gervonta "Tank" Davis faces new abuse claims from a woman who claims to be his ex-girlfriend. This is according to our media partner, the Baltimore Banner. Courtney Russell says she dated Davis for 5 months and recently filed a civil lawsuit accusing him of aggravated battery, false imprisonment, and other offenses. She claims Davis physically attacked her a number of times during their relationship. Russell claims the most recent incident was Monday at a Miami nightclub. Davis is scheduled to fight Jake Paul in Miami.
Chael Sonnen recently shared his thoughts on the growing chaos surrounding the rumored cancellation of the Jake Paul versus Gervonta "Tank" Davis fight, revealing that he personally reached out to both camps in search of answers. According to Sonnen, he contacted representatives from Jake's team as well as Davis's camp to verify whether the rumors were true, but neither side gave him a clear response. Their silence, he noted, only fueled speculation that something serious was happening behind the scenes. Sonnen suggested that when both fighters avoid denying a cancellation, It often signals that the issue goes beyond simple scheduling conflicts and may involve deeper legal or promotional complications.
Tank has one job to do, which is to let anybody know that's listening that it doesn't make any difference, that boxing is a real sport. My skills versus your skills, of which I am an abundance of and of which you have none of. My life's commitment and dedication versus a second or third or fourth thought in the world of priority on your list. And I used to believe those things. Now, I go back far enough in MMA that I've had my eyes opened a number of times. The fact that karate was so incredibly useless, or the fact that Jeet Kune Do was so incredibly useless, like, these were not things that I would have bet on when I was in high school. As a wrestler at that time, I would not have assumed that I would fare well in a fight against somebody that knew Kung Fu. We had all been falsely led through Hollywood. Not through competition, not through sport, not through understanding of the game, but just through Hollywood. We were told that those guys were the most dangerous guys. So, we then eventually get up to Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather, which had a weight discrepancy, but it was very small. I mean, I watched him weigh in, I want to say it was like...
With Gervonta Tank Davis's fight now in jeopardy, Floyd Mayweather has stepped in to call out Jake Paul for a bout. Mayweather has been outspoken about his views on Paul's boxing ability, acknowledging his success in the crossover boxing scene and admitting that he's entertaining, yet stopping short of considering him a legitimate boxer. Mayweather has even described a potential fight with Paul as too easy, suggesting that Paul wouldn't pose a real challenge to someone of his experience and skill. While recognizing Paul's ability to build a lucrative brand, Mayweather insists that stepping into the ring with a true world-class fighter would expose the clear gap in Paul's training, technique, and level of competition.
There are many people who believe you're the most talented fighter ever, period. So whatever you say to this question, I think is important. Are you impressed? Does he have boxing ability? Or is he just an entertainer who has a lot of fans and can promote a fight and has fought lesser opponents? Or is he actually talented?
As long as he continues to fight MMA guys and YouTubers, he's gonna continue to look good and shine. But once he fights a real fighter, a real fighter that can really fight, it's not gonna be that good.
Does he have the ability with what you've seen to continue to mold himself into somebody who can actually? He told me before his goal is to fight Canelo, so that's, you know, where his mindset's at.
Additionally, Mayweather's reluctance to grant rematches throughout his career left many fans wondering about unresolved what-ifs. In contrast, Jake Paul has often faced opponents who were either well past their prime or significantly smaller than him. Mayweather has openly cautioned about the quality of Jake's opposition, acknowledging Paul's entertainment value but warning that once he steps into the ring with a true professional fighter, the result could expose his limitations.
Question is just with like Logan Paul and then Jake Paul now fighting Mike soon in the summer, what do you think defines a real boxer? Because I feel like people are still confused on if Jake Paul is a YouTuber boxer or a real boxer. How do you feel like you get out of that bubble to make somebody a real boxer?
What he's doing is, I mean, kind of cool. If he can continue to steal money and they match him the way they match him, I can't knock his hustle. So if they can match him the way how they've been matching him.
Meanwhile, several fighters and analysts have praised Floyd Mayweather not only for his speed and defensive mastery, but also for his mindset. They argue that his true strength lies in his unwavering self-belief, the absolute conviction that he could defeat anyone he faced. Former boxer Tony Jeffries, for instance, has noted that Mayweather's confidence and mental dominance often allowed him to gain control of a fight before it even began.
Really confident, to really believe in themselves, but you need more than that mindset. You need to have the full package of everything that I'm talking about, what Floyd has got.
Fighters should only want to get better. The more you win, the more you should work hard. If you think about losing, you're gonna lose. All I ever thought about was winning. So that's all I know.
Floyd would visualize his success before he even stepped into the ring. There was no alternative to him but winning. And this mindset isn't just for boxing, it's for all walks of life. And I've actually done a full video talking about how I used this mindset of visualization to win my Olympic medal. And it was an absolute game changer. Now, Floyd used to use this mindset to ease the pressure that he put himself under. And he made himself think like, I'm not under any pressure right now, where he was under immense pressure.
Pressure either makes you or break you. Well, you see where I'm at, so it's obvious that I'm the type of athlete or I'm the type of entertainer that can deal with pressure. There's never no pressure.
Now, if you watch his fight in 2013, when he fought Canelo Alvarez, Canelo came in a young, strong, undefeated fighter, but by round 2, Floyd kind of had him figured out. He was reading Canelo's jab. He would slip outside and then come back with a clean counter punch, then move his feet and get out of the way. He basically had the full fight under control, and he was controlling the full rhythm of the fight. He was forcing Canelo to fight at his pace. And this is what he would do in all of his fights. He would get his opponent to do what he wanted them to do without their opponent even realizing it, which is what we call boxing IQ. Now, even though I'm not a fan of Floyd Mayweather personally, because of the time when I did meet him, what he said to me made me just feel like this guy is a piece of shit.
Reports have also surfaced suggesting that Floyd Mayweather is now pursuing a fight with Mike Tyson. And many analysts see this as more than just another money-driven move. They interpret it as Mayweather's way of proving that he can still command the spotlight even after retirement. With the spotlight previously on the anticipated Davis vs. Paul matchup, Mayweather appears unwilling to let anyone, not even his protege, outshine him. Observers describe this as classic Floyd, a man fueled by attention, competition, and the pursuit of legacy. As Davis and Paul prepare for their own spectacle, Mayweather's rumored clash with Tyson underscores a broader theme: the ongoing battle among boxing legends to remain relevant in an ever-evolving sports landscape.
So many celebrities and so many people that are known, where you can get somebody and they can sell tickets to events. That's what kicked off the social media influence boxing that Jake Paul was birthed from. Now we're in a vacuum. And so there's going to be a lot of conversation about that and continuing to do that. In this particular video, though, I want to get into the mind of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and why Floyd Mayweather Jr. would do this. There is the money, but there's also the competitive nature of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and him not wanting to have other people think that they're a bigger star than he is. Floyd Mayweather Jr. has not been able to really launch his star outside of the sport of boxing, so he continues to do exhibitions. Now, what I think is that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is announced it at this point in time with Mike Tyson in order to take advantage of the publicity heading into the Gervonta Davis, Jake Paul fight, which is, I do believe, set for November. So now that they have all the publicity and all that stuff coming out from that, he's going to piggyback on it and then try to have it in the beginning of next year sometime and actually make it a bigger event than Gervonta versus Jake Paul. And it probably will be. And the reason that I say that is because of Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is bigger than Floyd. Well, let me say Mike Tyson. I think Mike Tyson's bigger than Floyd Mayweather. I still think his name is bigger than Floyd Mayweather, even though I know Floyd has made more money in the pay-per-views. And I think that had a lot to do with, again, social media area and otherwise. But the combination of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Mike Tyson and the question about whether...
According to multiple reports, Jake Paul's promotional team is actively contacting several high-profile fighters as potential replacements for Gervonta Davis, whose upcoming bout has been cast into serious doubt amid ongoing legal allegations. Among the rumored names, one stands out: Terrence Crawford. Sources suggest that Paul's camp has reached out to the elite champion as a possible replacement opponent, though nothing has been confirmed publicly. Crawford's involvement would significantly elevate both the stakes and legitimacy of the matchup. However, he has not agreed to anything formally, and discussions remain in the early speculative stages. Still, the buzz surrounding this possibility has already captured fan attention, sparking talk that Paul's team may be pivoting toward a more credible, high-caliber opponent.
Technically scheduled for November 14th to air on Netflix, but it's basically hanging on by a thread. But the team, Jake Paul's team, have reportedly gone and contacted all the fighters, and the names that they're looking at contacting to fight as a late replacement: Ryan Garcia, Terrence Crawford, Francis Ngannou, I mean, come on, we'll get into them, and Nate Diaz. So he's already fought Nate Diaz, but let's go through them one by one. I mean, Ryan Garcia, he's a similar size to Gervonta Davis. He's bigger though. Davis made him come down, didn't he? Then he beat him up. So that was Ryan Garcia. Quite a bad loss for Garcia, that was, because he was up for the fight, but Gervonta Davis beat Garcia. Garcia also isn't really big enough to be jumping in with Jake Paul, but that's a fight that potentially could happen. Garcia is a massive name. He's a big he's a social media star. He's a big public figure. Loads of followers on Instagram and social. I mean, his Instagram's over 1 million, I'm sure it is. He's just a big name, good looking kid, great fighter, fast stands, and he's quite controversial as well. So that'd be a good fight, but the weight disparity, again, it's too big. So for me, when I say it'd be a good fight, it'd be interesting to see how Ryan Garcia would go in against Jake Paul, but to be honest, Jake Paul's far too big for him. Who else we've got? Terence Crawford. I can't see Terence Crawford entertaining this, but then you never know, do you? If the old bunch makes sense, then it makes people do strange things. And Terence Crawford's getting on that, what's he, 37, 38 years old, had that great win against Canelo. Would he jump in with Jake Paul for mega money? Probably. He'd pace him as well. I mean, Terence Crawford would be too much for Jake Paul, even though he's up at 168 in his last fight, super middleweight, my old weight division. So I don't think Jake Paul would fight him. Francis Ngannou, I mean, why even chuck Ngannou in the mix? Ngannou would just hammer him. He's too big. I mean, he talked about Anthony Joshua. That never happened, did it? It's a load of bollocks. He talked about fighting AJ, then announced he's fighting someone the size of one of AJ's legs in Gervonta Davis. So for me, that's nothing. And the Nate Diaz fight, he's already fought him. It was a rubbish fight.
The boxing world is buzzing with unprecedented drama. Floyd Mayweather calling out Jake Paul, Gervonta Davis's fight in jeopardy, and rumors of Terence Crawford stepping in as a replacement. Could we be witnessing a new era of high-stakes matchups that redefine the sport? Don't miss a moment of the action, the speculation, and the strategy behind these epic clashes. Drop your thoughts and comments below. Who do you think will come out on top? And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for all the latest updates.